Hey, what's up guys? Gabe from Our Simple Story here. Thanks so much for tuning into the channel. In this video, I want to explain how I managed to build a $3,000 tiny house on wheels. Now you look online at tiny houses and you see that they can be exorbitant to buy pre-built. Now, first and foremost, let me explain my number one tip to you. I took a long time building this tiny house. The better part of a year, or just a little bit more than a year actually. That's how I found deals. To build it in a rush is going to take you a lot of money. But let me show you what this thing looked like before I built the tiny house on top of it. This was an old Scotty camper, I think a 1968 Scotty camper, and you can see some older videos. I'll put a card up above that you can click on if you want to see me gutting this whole thing out. I drove it home for, about 45 minutes, barely made it, but here I am laying the floor. And you can see this whole tiny time-lapse video. I'll put the card up right now that you can click on, and you can see this time-lapse video of me building this whole thing out, just at the outer shell at least. But here's me cutting the window out. I did things like replace the tires, but I did all this on a budget, and like I said, I kept my budget around $3,000, and I think the final and finished product turned out quite nice. And I did some things that were kind of unique, like adding this end cap wall here with the shingle effect. And all these are fence panels from a neighbor that they were just throwing away. So I figured I would take them and sand them down and treat them, stain them. And here's a time lapse of me building this end cap wall out. But again, you can watch this by clicking on that video and watching the whole video. The other thing I did is I decided to build this out with beadboard on the outside. And I was able to find beadboard at a discount. And that's really important when you go into some of these box store, hardware stores or lumber stores, especially some of the more mom and pop, they want to rid their inventory of things that have any kind of damage or defects. So if you can go through and you can find the defect pile, or if you can find some that just have defects that are in the pile with the rest of the good ones, buy those ones and use those. That's perfect. That's what you want. And that's what's going to save you, a lot of cost. That's going to be time consuming though. Now you'll see there in the bottom right hand corner that I do have the ability to connect to shore power, and I have a 30 amp inlet that I installed as well as an outdoor outlet. And this can be found in the description below. If you just click on the Amazon influencer page, it'll take you in. So let me take you inside here and show you the inside of our tiny house. Now this tiny house is 12 feet long and 8 feet wide. And as you can see, I built a bathroom inside of it, and above the bathroom space is a 2-person bed. And then down here is another bed. So this tiny house, at a minimum, can sleep 3 people. I'm going to show you a little bit, something I'm kind of experimenting with to possibly sleep 4 people. But as you go inside and you stand in the bathroom and then turn around, this is the reverse wall showing the front door. We love, Florida outdoors, camping, kayaking, fishing, hunting, those sorts of things. So I wanted this to kind of have a rustic, Florida fishing, hunting cabin feel, kind of a chic hunting cabin. And as you can see there, the light fixture, I built that light fixture out of some Harbor Freight lights and a log that I cut out of my yard. So how do you get up on the loft bed? I built a Paracord Ladder out of some other saplings and stuff that we were clearing out of my backyard. And you might be asking, wait, does this actually work? Yes, it does. And of course, my sons were enamored with it and had to do it over and over. They thought it was so cool to have a little rope ladder in there. So yeah, it works. And it even held up my body weight, because this is 550 cord. This is paracord. It's got a very strong tensile strength. And I cut all these saplings out green, and we were clearing. It's actually an invasive tree species that we're clearing out. So that's why I was able to reuse those and repurpose those. So little things like that are going to save you money, but it's going to cost you in time. So, and here's me just chilling on the bed with my backpack that my dad got me when I was 13 years old. He bought this for me to experience on the Appalachian Trail. And that's actually a buck that my dad took years ago in the 1980s. But here I am. I use this as a podcasting studio, and doing voiceovers like I'm currently doing right now. I can do those out here in the tiny house. But here's something I'm kind of playing with is suspending a hammock up above the bed. So someone who's really brave can climb up into this hammock and possibly sleep in this hammock while someone can sleep down below. So it's kind of a hybrid bunk bed, if you will. But this would enable a fourth person to sleep in this tiny house. And again, this is kind of like a man cave chic, hunting cabin. It's just for, something maybe possibly for my sons and I and my wife to come out and stay in while we go hunting or something like that on the property. And these are some lanterns that I found in an old camper that I restored years ago. And you can check that video out by clicking on the card right here above. So I thought it fitting to reuse the old Scotty Sportsman decals that I found in the Scotty that you saw that I demolished, that this tiny house actually sits on that frame. So I figured I would reuse those and actually pay homage to that old Scotty. And here is just a wall decor I found in that camper as well that I thought fitting to put in there. Now the shower is all galvanized, steel. It's just a corrugated tin shower stall itself. And then this is the bathroom situation. Now you'll notice in the bathroom I do have the ability to plumb in a regular toilet. You can see the water inlet coming in the wall right there. However, I want to just keep things simple for now, and I built a humanure toilet that you can use. You can use wood chips, you can use cat litter, whatever you want to do. It's just kind of a camping toilet that you can pull in and out and take with you wherever you want to go. So it's really portable. But here's just kind of like an outside view of this thing again, and you'll notice that I have two things on the front here, getting the southern exposure. One is a solar panel, and this is I think this is a 100-watt solar panel from Rock Pals, and this is in my Amazon influencer page. You can click the link below and buy that for yourself as well. This is where I can get supplemental electricity for the tiny house. So if I'm off grid, currently in this video I'm not off grid, but if I were to be off grid, it would pipe into this EcoFlow Delta, and with this I can power everything from my refrigerator to a microwave. I can even run a window AC unit off of this for about 3 hours, believe it or not. And this is where I get a lot of the electricity, and it generates, it basically is a huge battery bank. But check this out in the description below, the Amazon influencer page. Great for, those who are into prepping or, those who live in a hurricane prone zone. This would be great for you. Now, how do I get hot water? I use a propane hot water heater. This is it right here. And I love this thing. I've been using propane hot water heaters just like this one for years, and they can get quite warm. This, again, is linked down below in my Amazon influencer page, so check that out as well. This kitchen counter, for instance, here's another thing. I salvaged a lot of stuff. This kitchen counter was free. I have a friend who worked at a cabinet shop, and he said, hey, there's a kitchen counter here. It's got a little bit of a warp in it. Do you want it? And I said, yes, I'll be right there. And so I ran over and grabbed that from him. These are more fence panels that someone was throwing away. Just things like that, like little things here and there. There was a new subdivision going in right next door to our property, and I was over there every other day dumpster diving and pulling out lumber, pulling out 2x4s. For some contractors, it's actually cheaper just to throw a 2x4 away, that has 6 nails poking out of it than to pay someone to pull all those nails out. So to build something like this and to keep it under budget, you want to take your time. You want to bargain hunt at some of these hardware stores, right? And you want to make it known that you're building a tiny house and you're trying to do it on the cheap. You'd be amazed at how many people gave me stuff because they knew that I was building a tiny house and, had just random things laying around their house. They were like, here, can you take this, please? Like a refrigerator that I have down below the counter, a stool, just stuff like that I got for completely free. This door, I got it at a great discount at a local mobile home park kind of supply store. So things like that you guys will find. But I really appreciate you guys watching this video. If you liked this video and you want to see more content like this, just do me a favor and subscribe to our channel and click the little bell so that YouTube will notify you when I upload a new video. But we're just a family. We do this on the side. I'm a teacher full-time, so if you want to help support our channel, you can just give it the thumbs up and subscribe. If you want to go a little bit further and offer some kind of financial support, you're welcome to click on our Patreon link below, and for just a minimum of like $5 a month, you can support our family. And we do a lot of trips, we do a lot of adventures, and we bring them to you on YouTube and hopefully inspire you guys to get out and experience a lot of neat things that the Southeast especially has to offer. But I hope this inspired you. If you're interested in building a tiny house, get out there and do it. I did everything myself, and that's another way I saved a lot of cost, is just by doing all the labor myself. And if I didn't know how to do it, I looked it up and I taught myself how to do it. And I made it. So here it is. This video is just more so to inspire you guys to want to do something like this and to do it on the cheap and to reuse materials that are otherwise just going to the landfill. But I really appreciate you guys watching. Until next time, we'll see you in the next video, and keep it real.